Now, Nicole, again, you've seen plenty. Ones you've liked, ones you haven't liked. But still, again, what's the advice you have for normal people about, OK, when they're saying this, they really mean that?
Paul, the clearest message I can send to all of our viewers at home tonight is that you might as well just ignore whatever Labor is saying. What you need to think about is, are you better off after this budget? And unfortunately, the Australian people won't be. So as Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor has been out saying, all week and particularly today, Labor's spending is growing faster than our economy. So things can't get better, inflation won't come down, and cost of living won't come down. And certainly power prices won't come down, and they've ruled out a cut to fuel excise. So I just encourage everyone at home, whatever spin comes out from Labor tomorrow and in the course of this week, just ask yourselves, are you better off? And I note that I'm wearing Labor red tonight because Labor has the budget and has the nation deeply in the red, and we have to get rid of them.
I'd also like someone somewhere, right, to start asking questions about off-budget money. I'd like somebody somewhere to be able to start to come together and say, this is how much, because there's all the stuff they're going to report and put the documents and this, that and the other. But then there's hundreds of billions of dollars that sit off to the side because it's infrastructure building. But guess what? It's all still borrowed money. It's just not money they have to own up to. But also, Christy, I just find infuriating when government turns around and says, we are delivering a $108 billion tax cut. Well, of course, that's just the overall number times the next 10 years. The reality is, when they turn around and say, you will be $600 a year better off, divide it by 12 to get the months, divide by 52 to work out the weeks, and then you'll go, what?
Look, the government will say cost of living relief, and they've flagged that there are cost of living relief. The truth of that is read targeted. So if you're a punter sitting at home and you're hearing the government saying, we're going to help you pay your bills, we're economic managers better than the last people that were in, we are managing the economy, we are going to help Australians through this cost of living crisis, that means only a very, very small percentage of people are going to get about $10 to $15 a week extra. A lot of these are loaded into policy areas where the government feels that they have got a firm ground to stand on against the opposition. We're going to see a lot of these targeted reliefs moved into things like childcare policy. So not everybody out there is going to get anything at all or any help whatsoever paying their bills.
Yeah, I mean, just the petrol thing, right? I mean, I bang on about it all the time because I just think it is a multifaceted tax that people pay, and obviously the more you travel, the more fuel, the more you pay. But, I mean, literally the person living in their car pays this tax, all right, all the way through to the person who's using it for commercial reasons. James, why are they so pig-headed in not making this decision? Because to me, the politics is pretty obvious, right? Where you can say to the widest number of people, here is the win. Is it because if they've got a $10, $15 billion surplus that they need the fuel taxes to get to a surplus, and that's why they're not doing it? Because to me, it seems absolutely politically stupid not to deliver something that everyone would benefit from.
Well, if they did discount it the way that Scott Morrison and the Coalition did those years ago, they would effectively lose about $12 billion a year if they took 22 cents off a litre. So it's about $1 billion a month that they'll sacrifice. Now, the problem is, though, these governments have a spending issue. They don't have a revenue collection issue because, on average, across this country, all governments collectively collect $2 billion worth of taxes every single day. 365 days a year, $2 billion a single day. Now, where's that money going? Well, it's been sent overseas. Look at Ukraine. We've given $960 million to Ukraine. We've given millions of dollars towards this new scheme. They're paying super for those people within the public service who take time off to go and have kids. You know, there's another $600 million. everything we do, everything we hand money over to PNG, we want to go and build them new stadiums over there for their football teams. And it's just, the money isn't being spent correctly. So we don't have a revenue problem in this country. We've got a spending problem. And if we get that spending pared back, we can actually cut the taxes that we are charging every single person in this country. And, you know, the cost of living matter, if you have a look at the way that food prices are going, I was talking to JBS Meats here at Beef Week last week. Do you know meat prices, they say the supermarket meat prices are so high, yet the cattle prices come down. The problem is JBS in one of their abattoirs is paying $80,000 a day for power and water.
Wow.
That's where all these costs are coming from, Paul. It's extraordinary. The governments are just squeezing the life out of businesses who then pass that on to the end consumer. We're all paying for it. So your little piddly little tax break you claim you're going to give us is going to go nowhere.